Hey guys, Bink here, and welcome to another episode of Bink's Corvair Addiction. Episode video, am I getting fancy? Well, I just gotten the grill on here. It's Monday, things are going fairly good, and I'm hopefully going to have Gary over here Wednesday, and we would like to fire it up. I would like to fire it up. I got a bunch of little stuff to do. I got to get this rubber boots on. This is one Gary gave me. I ordered a new one from Clark's, and it's got this little metal retainer thing in there. So I got to figure that one out. I need to put a plug in through where my rubber goes through. Where my wiring goes through the firewall. I need to put a plug, and Clark's did not have just a single hole one. They had threes and fours. I don't know, maybe they had twos. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to have to cut most of this out anyways if this is the one that even fits in there. I just ordered a few different plugs. There's another plug I have because I need a plug down by my gas line, but I think this one's too big. And I know one of them they didn't have and one of them I couldn't find. I am looking at another company that makes different plugs and stuff to see, or I don't know, I'll grab a chunk of rubber and make something or whatever. So I got to get this stuff in there. I have a couple cables underneath here I have to kind of strap up. Let's see, I got to put oil in it. I got some wiring to do. I should get the battery hold down figured out in there so the battery can rattle around. I do think I have a battery tray I bought. It's somewhere around here. For the bottom, a plastic one. Oh, a whole bunch of little things to do. And I was also looking up the nuts that go, or not nuts, the bolts that hold your tins down past your door that opens here. And those bolts they're like a bow tie looking hole in it kinda. And they're called clutch bolts. I got to figure out what size this one takes because when I took it apart, there was only a couple of them in there, and there was a couple of different other kind of bolts crammed in there, like junk. So I do want to find them. I kind of looked at Clark's. I only seen the tool so far. I didn't see the actual bolts. I got to go on the computer and look at it and see if they actually sell them. There's some through GM or Chevrolet or GM. There's some places that sell them out there too, but I want to find them wanted to put the correct ones back in there. I gotta get that. I gotta get my the hatch hinged. There's some crummy hinges that came with it looked like some bolt hinges or some really weird stuff on there that they put on with drywall screws. I think it's drywall screws. Really good job they did on that. And I'd like to make some sort of a latch or hold down, something that's gonna lock that thing down. So, that I could do down the road too. But I'd like to get this thing running hopefully if Gary's here and we get everything figured out, we can fire it up Wednesday. I went and got some premium gasoline. I know we gotta put some additives in the gas, maybe something in the oil, I think. And I don't know what else we got to do here. I said some wiring, and I think we got to figure out one wire. And anyways, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna get cracking. I know I'm forgetting some stuff here, but I'm gonna get cracking on these little things. Because when Gary comes here, he's gonna want to get her done. All right, so I've been double checking everything. I got these lines as good as I can get. They kind of crisscross over each other because some of them are long. But I got them all up real nice. This was my only concern here is if this cable ever decided to drop. I don't know if it would. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that there, or put a piece of rubber across there just in case. Maybe I'll do that. Just double checking everything underneath here. Everything seems pretty good. Like I said, I just put some of these couple straps up. I used some of the original ones that were on here. And that's it for now, I guess. I don't know. Looks pretty good to me, I guess. I'm doing my best. So when Gary told me to fill up the rear end, I says, on the plug, should I put a little Teflon or something on them? He said, no. He goes, that's just more stuff that could get into the crank or into the rear end. And it's been dripping. And I had mentioned it a week ago. He said, just snug it up more. And I tightened it. I could hardly tighten it. I turned it just a little bit and it's still leaking. So I need to start going with my own instincts from now on stuff, I think. And now I'm under here. Now I see my fill tube here that goes into my finned aluminum transmission cooler. That one's leaking too. God dang it. You know, I try and try. I'm ready to start to cry. I'll see if that'll tighten more. That one I know won't. The only thing I can do with that one is I'll have to drain it and put Teflon on it and refill it, you know. Everything I do on this dang thing, it's 2, 3 times, 4 times. Oh, geez. Learning. All right. So I got that one in. And I'll show you the trick on it. And this here area right here, there's some like little metal pieces that kind of squish up on here or come up on here a little bit. And that kind of, I think, holds the rubber on there from moving. I'll show you the trick to that guy there. All right, so when you order this, like this one here Gary gave me, luckily, because when you order from Clark's, they give you just a rubber piece and they give you your round ring with the 3 pieces on it bent. And what I noticed Gary did is he cut, he basically, because I tried putting it on there without cutting it, you can't get it on there. So you have to cut a little notch on there for all of the 3 deals. Just cut it in a little bit. 2 of these deals, these little tabs are got a big bend like that, and one of them has just more of a hook bend. So what you have to do is, this is the one with the hook. So what you do is you get that through your hole first and down on the bottom and push it down, and then you take this one's here and you push these ones up, and these ones click in. Yeah. And then your rod that goes through there's kind of like a couple little pieces that kind of come up, just a little bit more material on the rod that I think when you pull, you know, because I had this kind of squished over it, and then kind of pull that back over it, and that holds that like in that position because I had it past it like that. So I got that figured out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and the next one for my electrical that goes through there, luckily I checked that because that one plug, one of those males was actually popped out of there. So I was like, something's loose. So yeah, I fixed that. And so I'm going to have to take, because the only one I could find is the one I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna take and drill a hole through it, or I'll have to take a saw or something. I gotta make that bigger so I can get all that electrical through it. And that grommet has a split in it. The one for the gas line, I'm gonna either have to pull the gas line out, and they did not have one with just one in it. They just had a 3. They might have a 2 and a 4. And I think it's got 3s. I don't know, I'll look and see what else I have here, because I just bought kind of assortment, because and then I'm gonna find a place that has this stuff and just try or measure it and try to find some of the stuff so I can buy like a box of them instead of paying all those high prices. Like, I think this one here was like $26. The ring, the little deal there was like another $6, something like that. Or maybe 26 for them both. I don't know, but I don't know if I'll find this, but this stuff here, I'll find some stuff, maybe, possibly. So let's go over to the, I put the other rubber. I don't have one here. Oh, I have this one too. This is a different one. Like I said, I ordered a bunch of different things just to see. This one's too big. It's just a center hole. This one is too big for the fuel line. It has to be this size, I think. And I wanted one just goes in the center. So I'll probably take like this one, cut a hole in it, because I'm not pulling my fuel lines apart and trying to get that all on there. I think I'll just cut a slot in it and see if I can get it to work. We'll try that. And we'll figure it out. If not, I think I have a couple of these. I'll pull my fuel line off if I have to. This one here, I put in my vise. I was just gonna try to drill a big hole through it. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, or even be big enough, or you have to probably keep cutting it with an X-Acto knife to make it bigger. This is either gonna work or make a big mess. I just don't want it to tear it apart and rip it apart. Eh. Oh, okay. I didn't, it's split, you know, it's split. That scared me because there's a split in the rubber. So I'm gonna have to start cutting that by hand, you know, gotta make that bit way bigger. So I'll get a X-Acto blade or something and cut that. Phew, that scared me. Okay, so this rubber seems like it's soft enough to cut. I started cutting. I'm not going to cut too much out of there because I can go ahead and cut more as I need it. So way easier than drilling. Yeah. Well, I bought extra ones. They weren't, I don't know, $5, $6, $4. I don't remember. Sorry guys, I don't remember. Plus shipping and all that other fun stuff. So I'm just going to work at this without cutting my finger. All right, and I'm gonna cut a little more out of there because I know I got a bunch of wire going through. Okay, that's how much I cut out of it now. It's not perfect circle, but I don't know if it has to be. So I'm gonna go try that. I can always cut a little more out. All right, guys, so that turned out fine. Turned out pretty good. I got that done. I got that other piece, that plug. There was a little tab deal on it, and I got that plugged into the side. There was a hole down there. I think that hole down at the bottom is for a ground, I believe. I have bought some of these here plastic deals through Clark's. Not very happy with them. I don't like plastic. It always breaks. And you can't pull these things very tight. They just don't stay. So maybe there's like something better to put on there. But for right now, yeah, maybe I'll put maybe I can put one of my metal rings around there and screw it into there. We'll see. I don't want to attach these wires too much here until I figure out, you know, where it's going to get mounted here. It already seems like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I just don't want them pulling tight here. So, yeah. So we'll get a mount spot on that thing somewhere and put a band around it. All right, so I got it in there, but I don't like it off to one side like that. That could wear and rub through, you know. But for right now, that's all I have to work with till I could find something else. I'm working on it. I don't like how this one here is touching this one here. I thought I had it, I mean, I don't like how Gary's got that. So I'm gonna build a little tool to hopefully stick in here and tweak that down a little bit. So we'll see what I can do, what I can come up with. Yeah, I've never liked that fuel line, the main, touching that, and I don't like the way Gary's got that. I think it could be bent a little bit, and I want to get some gap between there. There's not even enough gap to put a rubber hose in there. So what I'm going to do is dig around my metal bins and find something. I thought, you could use a wrench and then big wrench and grind it round or something. I'll figure out something and find something and weld something up or make something so I can try to tweak that a little bit, just get it moved down a little bit. So what I found was like part of like a hinge. It's a big wooden screw that you screw into a post in the ground, and then it's got a piece that comes up for your hinge to go on it for like an old wood gate or something. So I'm gonna build something out of that. I think if I cut the long part off and use it, and then I can use one part for a handle. We'll see what happens, if it works or not. All right, so this is what I came up with. Like I said, it was from a gate. This piece here was welded on, or was part of that. And what I did was just cut it off and end up welding it on here. Kind of, I think I can use that to bend, and it's round so it won't kink it so much. I don't want to bend it much, just a little bit. And while I was welding this, I cleaned up my little anvil and welded the tip on it. It's not too bad. It's got a little porosity in there, so I could zap it a little more and weld it. But Yeah, it's the one I bought at the flea market. And I actually just was rounded. I just ground it all and made it look a lot better. So, wipe it down some oil and throw it up on the shelf. Let's go see if this is gonna work. All right, guys, I got my tool here. I got it so you can see if it's actually gonna work or not. And we'll see if, see it's touching it. I don't like that. So I just wanna see if I can tweak it down just a little, just a little bit without damaging something here. Let's see. Dang, that's some tight stuff here. Oh man. Sure doesn't really want to go, does it? Maybe it did a little bit, eh? Not really, eh? God dang it. I don't want to kink this up. It's really... Maybe a little bit. There we go. We got her a little bit. I'm happy with that. I got a little tiny kink in there. Not much of nothing. Not much. But now I'm happy that that's not going to rattle on there. We'll see if something will leak. So what I did is I just took this, I put it on here, and I just bent it a little bit there, and I moved it up to there a little bit. Just a couple spots, I just bent it downwards just a little bit. Seemed to do the trick. Pretty cool when you can kind of come up and make like a little tool to get in a certain spot. Yeah, it's got a little tiny dimple there. There's nothing on the bottom. I can feel there's nothing on the bottom, just the top there. And I just moved it a couple spots. And as long as it ain't touching, I'm happy. Now hopefully it ain't gonna leak. Anyways, all right. Next thing I do, I don't know. Let's figure out and keep working on this thing. So hey guys, I've been out here this morning. This is Tuesday. I've been out here I've been out here 6 o'clock, so 2.5 hours almost. And this is what I'm doing. I found the correct plug for the fuel line that goes through the firewall. I think I had it laying here and I thought, oh, that's too big to fit through there. And I got it in there. It's a bugger. It's hard to get it in there. You gotta get it from one side and start working. I used a big flat screwdriver, I got her in there. So happy with that. I'm gonna order a few more from Clark's. C879. I didn't think that was it. I just ordered a bunch of different stuff and I was hoping I would be able to use it here and there. And I never found nothing that said for fuel line through it. So that's probably why I was saying the Clark's don't have them. But I do know that they don't have this plug with just a center one. But it's pretty much almost the same thing. So I don't know how I ended up with it. I just ordered a bunch of stuff. I'm like, I'm just gonna order one of these, a couple of these, and hopefully we get something that works. So back there where the line that goes around your carburetors for your vacuum, it's very close to touching that fuel line. I did put a piece of rubber hose. I had split it, put it on there, and then I ended up putting tape around and kind of rolled it on there and got that just to kind of protect it. What else did we do? I got these C4-3, I think that's a 5R, 8R, hard to tell, the grounding straps. And I asked Gary, I said, I was reading this morning a little bit. I was reading a little bit. Now there was something I was looking up for the grounding strap locations, and it says the real only reasons you need these is for your radio, but I've heard that you should have them regardless for more than your radio. And I was gonna put them on regardless. And I did talk to Gary this morning and he said, yeah, definitely put them on. So I got one in each back. I think there's a spot here for a third one because there's another hole in my tin there. I'm gonna wait on that one till I see Gary next, or till next time I talk to him. I did tell him I didn't have the plug in. He goes, I'm gonna look around, I might have some. So I did call him back, and the fuel line one, and call him back and said, I found it, I found it, it works. I did go through some of my stuff that I ordered years back for the custom Greenbrier, and there that goes. This is the tray for your battery box. I don't know if I really want to use it. Maybe I will. It says on here, you can punch this hole out and put a rubber tube on it, but I don't know how you're gonna actually do that unless you had a tube. There's some extra tube stuff up there. Tube that's got like a round flat head on it, so you slide it through and it stays in there because there ain't no way to attach it. And you'd have to drill it out. I did put a nice piece of rubber in there. I don't know if I'll use this or not. Looks like I bought the the hardware bars, and I even paid for washers. I guess I didn't pay for the nuts, so I could get that in there. What else? I told him about the leak on the rear end, and I said I can't tighten no more unless I put a bar on. I'm gonna break something, and you know, then it's another problem. And in with my stuff, I had this Permatex thread sealant, proof sealing, general purpose fitting sealant. So he said that he doesn't like to use Teflon. I just want to put the Teflon on there, and I didn't, and now it's leaking. I can't tighten no more. He said get a plug out of a different one, try that. Or he said Teflon, he doesn't like it because it can get into the bearings. So anyways, I'll go ahead and put this on there. So, but I gotta lift it, drain the rear end. So there's some more time. I'm going to fill the motor with the oil I got. That's been in this one. I pulled it out and saved it. There's been so many. There's been like 5-6 oil changes on this thing already. And the first couple times when we ran the motor, I got rid of the oil. And this one here, this time it has been a new pan gasket on there and never ran. I cleaned out the pan and dumped the oil in there. And after, I don't know, 3 weeks or 4 weeks, it was leaking. So we got that new core composite on there. I can't do it any better than I did it. I said, if it leaks after this, I don't know. I'm at my wits' end on that. So we're gonna dump that in there so she's got oil, and hopefully I can get Gary over here tomorrow. I says I want to get it going this week for sure. There's a big Corvair show on Glendale Saturday, and Gary says, are you going to it? And I says, this is why I'm trying to get this thing going. I says, I want it going. I want to take it there. Will I drive at 50 miles? I think it's about one way. Probably not, unless I feel real good about it, but I will trailer it there and drive it around. You know, it's just going to have to see if we get her going and drive around and see, you know, how far of a trip I want to go. You know, we'll see. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just trailer it. And Gary wants to go, so I said, Gary, we need to get this. I said, if this ain't running, I said, I'm probably not going to go to the show. Maybe I will anyways, but you know, I really want this there. So I says, help me tomorrow and maybe Thursday or Friday, one other day if we have to get everything kind of buttoned up on it. And hopefully we don't. And I says, I'll pick you up Saturday and we'll go to the show. I said, bring your heads. Jeff, the machinist, is going to be there. I says, you can show him what you need machined on it. And then Gary's all gun-ho. He wants to go. I says, and I want to go with this. So we'll get her lifted up. Let that oil drain. I'll fill this first. Lift it up. Let the oil drain. And try some of this on there. Refill that. And continue on with the other little stuff around here. What else did I do? Oh, I put a plug in where my manual chokes go because this had manual chokes. I found a plug and put in there, and I just put 2 bolts in the holes, so that's taken care of. Grounding clamps are on, like I was saying. Glad I found this fuel plug, the right one, and we'll get the battery kind of tightened down in there a little bit, or at least figure it out so it's ready to go, and keep continuing. Let's get some more stuff done. All right, guys, I'm on the lathe doing a little lathe work. I have to make one of these little tiny bushing deals. It goes in here, and this is for the little back hatch door to check your oil and for your motor and stuff, for you get your FC dipstick. And it was missing one of these, so I'm making one. I had it right to the dang right size, pretty close, and I just ran my file over it a little bit. Now it just got a little smaller, so we'll see how is gonna work. I had taken a washer that was very close to the same size, sandwiched it between two nuts on a carriage bolt, threw it in a lathe just to get a little bushing in there. So if I drop this one, it's gonna be gone. So we'll just sit it there, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. That on the tip of my finger is what I'm making. And there's one right in there. This is a quarter nut, and I had put a big washer in there. It was probably over an inch, but it was the right thickness and pretty much close to the right hole. So I just machined it down. I'm gonna take that apart and we'll see if that's gonna be close enough. So I loosened my nut up, and actually there was a lock washer. See, I machined it into the nut. I machined right over the lock washer. That's a lock washer. And there's the piece I need right there, and that's another nut. So hopefully that'll work. Yeah, just see if it's hot. It's not hot. So kind of fun making stuff. A little time consuming. So we'll take that apart and see. Yeah, here's a wrench. It's sharp because I machined a chunk of the nut off there or something. All right, we'll pop that apart over there and take a look at it and see. Looks like it'll work. All right, I got it off. It's pretty good. It's off just a hair, offset. Not bad. It'll work. It's gonna, it goes in here, and it's just a little shim kind of deal. Oh yeah, it's fine. I'm so afraid to drop this one, I'm gonna lose it. So I'll give you a close up on that. I was just machining this while I was having that rear end finished dripping, so I can seal up the plugs and fill that back up. And I gotta change these wires here, just these two here. I'm gonna put new ones on. I got these big honking ends on here, and it doesn't need that. So I'm gonna do that. I probably have to put this on to see if the lengths of these are right even. So I think these are just grounds. Can't remember. It's been a while. And then we'll get this kind of wiped up, cleaned up, and put on there. So that's the one I made. That's the one that was on there. It's just off a little bit to the one side, but I don't think it's really gonna matter. It just goes in there. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. I did not lose it when I took it apart, but it just wasn't in there. So now we got one. That's done. It's all right. I did go ahead and pull another plug out of another transmission I had laying over there. Gary said, check, maybe find a different plug. And when I did pull this one out, this one over here, the threads were a little goobered up on it, a little weird. I didn't like it. So I said I got it all dripped out pretty good. I wiped it out. I cleaned up that plug. I put that Permatex seal stuff on there, pipe seal stuff. Put it in there. I got the other one. I'm gonna go dump some, bring it down, dump some oil in there and get her till she starts dripping oil out the side. And put some goop on this one and plug her in and call her done. On back onto that little door on the back for your oil fill check dipstick door. I don't know what you're gonna call it. Just the rear door under the tailgate. We'll finish that. All right, so I took off their garbage that someone made, and the fittings they're actually kind of loose and wrong sizes. These are mine, nice and neat. I made them a little longer because I'm going to cut them off over there and make them to the right length and add my ends on them. So that's what I'm going to do. I got some honking ends on it, these ones here. And they're not even, the wire, it's not even tight. Check it out. Goes up and down, in and out. It's not even. They just bent it over. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I like to go over this and make sure everything's, good, because hokey, weird stuff like that. So we did the shrink wrap tube, pushed it on there nice. Crimped it nice, pushed it on there, warmed it up. Got a nice piece now. So I'm putting on this little door. I got it bolted down. Now, I don't know if that's a correct spot. They had it grounded to the center bolt here. And I was looking at the wires, and the one wire wasn't even attached here. It was just kind of hanging in there. So I'll have to put another new male on that one there. Yeah, it was right there. That one there wasn't attached in this corroded mess of junk. So I'll go ahead and fix that. That's why everything takes a little bit of time, but we'll get her. Stripping the wires to put this new clip on, and I just seen what was sticking out of the tape there. Bare wire. So I'll cut that tape back and see what mystery we got under there. All right, well, I got that all taken care of. I'm glad I seen that wire pulling out, and then I seen one little cut, and then there was another one. So we got it all shrunk wrapped nice. I don't know exactly where that's supposed to pop. I think this here, I don't know, you can stick it wherever you want, I guess. Put it in, put your plugs in. So I'm getting tired. Whew. All right, guys, I ended up staying a little bit longer here and working on it. I got it looking fairly nice. I don't know how it's supposed to look, but it's all right. It'll open and close, and nothing pulls or nothing, so very good. All right, guys, back out in the shop this morning. I got this all put back together. Had to adjust it a little bit to get it to go, but it works. This looks good, and she clicks, she locks. This needs to get painted, but that'd have to come apart to get that painted. I just knocked the rust off of it for now, but there we go. Let's see. Oh, I did go get Gary, and we are going to do a few more little things on this and see what we got left. All right, Gary and I have been doing some wiring this morning. He's been teaching me, and we still have these blue is for the switch, hidden switch for the fuel pump. And then he had me run a heavier red that's up here, and we ran a yellow off the starter to that piece there. What do you call them? Where we ran it to?
Oh, the dang it, what are they called? Let me get the, what did you have on yours?
Here we go. That's what we got, a 20 amp circuit breaker, mountable circuit breaker.
Right.
That's what I have too, 20 amps.
Right.
That's what you said to get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them are sideways and some of them are long ways, but either or, you can find a place underneath the dash to mount it so you can get at it to, as you want to add other things to your vehicle, like a radio that pulls more power, you'll be able to pull it off from your 20 amp circuit. Here, instead of going through all of the wires, which are the originals from 61, 2, 3, whatever vehicle you have.
Drawing more power out of that than it really is capable of doing.
Right.
Okay, so Gary had me run down there's a yellow and a black.
Okay.
Yellow and a red.
And a red. Red from the positive cable, and the yellow from the solenoid side of the solenoid.
Okay, we took
all the wires underneath the dash and ran them through the circuit breaker, so that just in case something is messed up here, we'll still be able to get it under the dash on its own starter button. If nothing works in the ignition, you have no lights, no nothing, at least you'll be able to start the vehicle by pushing the button.
Okay, so we put a push button here, and we got the breaker up there, mounted a firewall, and we just brought the yellow and red up. It's all in the harness I made, that Gary had me make a while back. And it just goes to there and over to the switch.
Right.
And now we got...
Tucked up underneath the dash, nice and nice.
Yeah, so we got our red power goes on the top of the red, coming in, or coming from the start. Well,
from the battery. From the positive side of the start, battery.
And then it goes from here, the red one, the short one goes up onto here, and the yellow up to the button, and the yellow one from the starter comes directly up to the other side of the button.
Right.
And then the two blue wires here is for the switch that's hidden to run the electronic fuel pump that we gotta...
Why do we have two wires?
Well, there's two wires that go to the switch. The switch, there's two wires on the switch. Is one supposed to be a ground?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then off the ground one.
Well, we can ground that up underneath here, too.
Yep, okay. Then the switch, one grounded, and one goes hot. One hot.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that's kind of maybe the next thing.
Yeah.
Because Gary and I just wired this up, and it works.
Right.
All right, guys, so the switch, the hidden switch, it's hidden, it's not so hidden that most people could find. We didn't ground it like Gary had said. Like I always thought, like, you know, a switch with two males off of it, and you move it back and forth. You put one lead in and one out. So that's basically what we did, like a hot in, hot out, just killed the power. And that shuts off the electronic fuel pump underneath, and that's the way we did it. It's always fun working with Gary because, like, he had me doing the wiring harness a long time ago, as it seems like. And I didn't know what all these wires were going to be for and how they were going to work. About the button here that we had put in to kind of basically override to start the truck. If Gary says if everything else fails, if you're basically like original wiring harness, if it fails, because, you know, we did not put a whole new wiring harness in here, so it's old. And like he says, if you want to add, well, he said add a radio, or I think he's talking like an amplifier, or add any other electronic stuff. The original wiring is really not kind of made for that, plus it's old. So, and the wiring in here, the harness looked pretty good, just some of the wrap was coming off here and there. It was just loose, really good shape. When some of the spots where it was loose, I pulled the wrap off, and the wires looked like brand new under there, you know. So, you know, so what I did is I pretty much rewrapped most of the whole original wiring harness, and then he had me build the other one that goes back for extra wires, in case I want to run any other gauges and stuff like that. Like he says, in case you wanted to put a spider dash in or something. But all the wirings ran. It's really nice. And then, like I said, the red and yellow from the starter, the red from the positive side of the starter, the yellow from the solenoid side, I believe he said. And I didn't even know what any of that was for. I just knew in my harness that I made for that, in that harness, I did put off for the electronic fuel pump. So, and that was, and then I did put the two blue wires in off of the hidden switch, and it's just the colors I chose. So, anyways, we got all that taken care. It's awesome having Gary here. I love it. I just, you know, I learn so much when he's here. And so we had a bugger of a time. We had to pull the choke. I pulled the whole choke cable out in that, but I couldn't get the bracket off here. And the screws were just wrecked and rusted in there. So I actually had to like cut them off of the cutoff wheel without cutting anything in the dash, and die grind it a little bit. I tried drilling them. They were harder than a rock, even with good bits, real good bits. I think Mako bits, and it still wouldn't. One drilled a little bit, and I ended up getting that one off, but the other one, no bueno. So we kind of mounted that switch in the area, but back a little farther so it wouldn't be so noticeable for that override switch for starting it. So that's in there. So let me know how we did. What you think of it so far? I think it's pretty cool because it's getting to a point where we are going to be able to start it. A matter of fact, that's what we're going to do on the next video. This is the end of the video. I got everything ready to go so we can try to fire it up for the first time, the motor in this 61 Rampside. It's been a long time, way too long. It's been almost 7 months of working on it to get to this point. Gary has to laugh because he's like, you wanted it at the fan belt, tell us when? That would have been October, months and months and months ago. So, but I did spend a lot of time underneath making it right and nice. So, well, I couldn't get it done anyways because there was motor problems. So I didn't make it to the fan belt toss, so then I spent extra time on it. So anyways, next video is going to be firing up the motor for the first time. Will it start? When we hit the key, will it fire up? Let's tune in for the next video, I guess, and we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be good, it's gonna be bad. I mean, everything, I kind of costing 3 times the charm now because everything you gotta do 3 times to get it fixed right or tear it apart 3 times. But anyways, put your comments below. Let me know what you think of it so far. And please subscribe to the channel, pass the word. Could use some more subscribers, would be great. I would really appreciate it. I hope we are helping teach somebody something, or you get something out of it, or at least a laugh. Gary's a great guy, you know. Just he's a fun guy. So I actually told him because to get him over here, I told him I says I want you to come on over. Like, you get him over here Wednesday. I want him actually Tuesday, but I was flying solo there by myself. So he goes, I can come over Wednesday. He's a busy guy working on some Corvairs. So I says, all right, I need you here Wednesday and maybe Thursday or Friday, one of those days. I says, if we have problems, I says, I want to get this thing to the car show on Saturday. So and Gary wants to go to the car show. I says, I want to take it there, drive it or trailer it, but I want it running and kind of together. So I says, Gary, I says, next week I will come over and work and help, and whatever you need, put me to work. I'll help you on your Corvair. So I will be going over there next week to work with Gary on some of his stuff. He helps me a lot and gives me stuff. I give him stuff, and I try to help him out too. So he appreciates it. I appreciate it. So anyways, that's it for this video. And like always, thanks for watching. Thanks, Corvair Addiction, and see you on the next video.